Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Okay, fancy pants shave time. I was tagged by Melly Mel Shaves and I'll be honest with you, I hadn't actually watched any of his channel before. It was Chris from I Am CDB who messaged me saying that he had tagged me in his recent fancy pants shave. So I headed on over there and at the same time I got a friend request from a Mel. So I thought this must be one of these crazy women, you know, one photograph, tits out. And yeah, one of them, but no, it was Melly Mel. And I found out just from the first page on his profile that he's a registered nurse. And that's brilliant. My wife's a registered nurse, I think that's awesome. And it's one of those jobs where when I was a copper, I used to go to the hospitals and I'd see the job they do and I think, fuck me, I could not do that job. So thank you very much, Mel, for what you do. I know how hard it is, I know how shift work impacts family life and how draining being a nurse can be, given that I go through every day with my wife, who is now a lecturer at TAFE. She teaches nursing, but she still gets that exhaustive side of it. But anyway, the shave. He has tagged me to do a fancy pants shave. Now, while I'm at it, Melly Mel, he is pretty much the James Brown of wet shaving. I've never watched a YouTube video where I felt like, fuck, I need to get up here and do something. This guy, fucking, he's just got me going here. So if you check out his channel, Melly Mel Shaves, I'll pop the link down below and just give him a like or a subscribe, whatever you like. I've subscribed to his channel now. I find him a very sort of excited, exuberant sort of bloke, and I think that's great. And I'm assuming that's probably what he's like in everyday life. But anyway, here we go. Castle Forbes shaving cream, lime essential oil. Now this was a gift from my mum and dad, God, 4 years ago I think now, roughly 4 years ago. It was one of the first sort of real, I mean this is, I think it's the most expensive set in the den. I think this is like $100 Australian worth, this and the splash, not the splash, the balm. The lime scent on it is just slicing a lime open. It's the most beautiful lime scent, and if you've never smelled it before or you want to smell just a supreme lime scent, this is it. Now this is a fancy pants shave. I've mainly went with it's mainly cost items really, things that cost a lot, that's why they're fancy. This, I've never really had an absolutely perfect shave from it. It doesn't lather for some reason exactly how I want. I hope you can hear the rain. We've got a massive storm coming in. My brush for the day, you can see there, that's where the water level is on the knot, is my That Darn Rob 28mm rhodium knot. Now this is a 2-band silver tip. I absolutely love this brush. It gets way more use than anything else in the den. I'm just going to dip it in the water. Flick out a fair bit of the excess. I might just dip that again and just squeeze. I want to leave a fair bit of water in this. It does seem to do better with more water in the tips, as you can see. There's still quite a bit of water in those tips. And here we go. I have got this loaded up, or not loaded up, but I've got the soap loaded into my Saponificio Varicino shaving grill bowl, another part of the fancy pants shave. All wood construction, made in Italy. And it does work very well. I'm just not a big fan of bowl lathering up, mainly because I'm not very good at it. It's just as simple as that. I've just dipped the tips of the brush in the water, just to get a little bit more moisture into it. So I'm interested to see how the brush goes in the bowl, because I think I bowl lathered this once or twice when it was shedding, and it really didn't help. So it'll be interesting to see whether I've really reached a milestone with this knot and have broken its back, so to speak, and it's no longer a major shedder, or a shedder. It wasn't a major shedder. It certainly was no Morrison 400 or Stuart Simpson, that's for sure. Now I am going to try and complete the, sort of finish the lather in the bowl, actually do my lather in the bowl. Just see how we go. The problem with the big knot is, or this knot in particular, is it wants to really soak up the lather down into the flow through area. So it's quite hard to build the lather in this little bowl, and it's a big knot. You can see how much of that bowl it fills. God, I love the rain. I love the wind and rain. I don't miss it in Scotland. I really don't miss the weather in Scotland. I don't miss how dreary it always felt, the shitty cloudy weather all the time, and it was just miserable. It really was. It's a very, very hard place, Scotland, to keep positive. I find. I mean, I'm struggling over here in Australia, to be honest, and it's beautiful over here. But Scotland was just a miserable, miserable place. England was the same. Just going to drip some water in. Ooh, that's probably too much water. God, the shine on this brush just looks like it's off the charts today. So, oh, Melly Melly. He tagged a few others as well. I think he was tagged by the scented shaver, or the scented soldier. Can't remember, scented soldier. I must say that the wet shaving scene on YouTube at the moment is absolutely booming for what it is. I mean, we are, in the grand scheme of things, a very small minority of YouTube, really. But just trying to mix this in here. The knot is so big. I think I've put too much water in it now. I bet I've broken this lather. I was talking about how I've been struggling to lather, and I think I put too much water in there. It looks quite hairy. I'm certainly by no means, I am no Don Young from White the Face. That man can bowl lather. I've seen a few that he's made that look a little bit airy, and that's what I'm getting here now. I'm just getting a big airy mess. So I might have to, so this is what we've got there, you can see how airy that is. I may have to just transfer this to the face now and just do the best I can. I've got 2 days growth. I was going to save my shave for tomorrow in the hope that one of my parcels turns up. Oh. I mean, it's airy, there's lots of it. Shit, it's going everywhere. This is why bowl lathering's never quite made sense to me. I find with bowl lathering I end up lathering on my face as well, so I'm like, well, what's the point, just lather on my face. Or is that just me? I mean, one thing it does do is it reduces the amount of time the brush is on your skin, so if you've got a sensitive skin or you struggle with irritation from the brush, bowl lathering is going to help you, definitely. But that is still pretty good. It's a very light lather. I've always had a light lather from Castle Forbes. It never quite makes a heavy dense lather. It's just the makeup of the cream, I believe. You can probably see in there just how hairy that is. But I did add too much water. Definitely too much water. So here we go. The razor I chose is the Carve Christopher Bradley razor in stainless. It's the most premium razor I've got today, and I view this as more premium and more fancy pants than the Wolfman that I've got on loan at the moment. So here we go. I've got the B plate on here, I think, which is 0.73 blade gap, and I've got a 7th or an 8th use Wizamet Super Iridium blade in here. And do you know something? I still can't remember his name. I don't know what's going on. my mind, I just can't get my mind to think of simple things at the moment. I just watched a movie on Alzheimer's disease yesterday with the wife, and then I'm thinking, fuck, is that me? Yes, this is what I remember with Castle Forbes. It's a good cream, you know. It smells brilliant, but it's just not a. I should have picked a different soap. Really, I should have picked something that to me is a fancy soap. I did actually contemplate the Fougere Gothique Barrister and Man. This stuff, albeit it's expensive, it's fancy and it smells great. The only reason it's still at my den is because it was a gift from my mum and dad. Just lost one here. Certainly no troubles lathering it, that's for sure. Right, across the grain. I was just watching Brown Man Shaves while I was setting up for this shave. He's just done his classic shave. Good on you, mate. It's good to see you back again. He's clearly got a new mount for his camera, for his phone or whatever he records on. So, there's no excuses now for not making videos, is there? God, my eyes look so dark. I'm gonna get a good sleep at some point. Me up to the sink out, it's full of soap. Certainly not a soap scummy soap that doesn't leave a lot of residue to rinse off and stuff, which is good. Residual slickness on this soap, on this cream. The way I lather it, or the way I've lathered it today, isn't the best. I think if I left this a little bit thicker, you know, probably going more towards the Paul H style type lather where it is actually thicker on your face, I think I would get much better results in terms of residual slickness and possibly protection as well. As you can see, I'm certainly, it's no slouch at making lather. Got a few little weepers in. Another guy that I've been thinking about recently, and I hope he's doing well, is Andy the Northern Shaving. I haven't heard from him for a while. I might actually send him a message just to say hello. Make sure he's keeping well. I don't know whether he's still on the scene in terms of watching channels or anything like that, or whether he's taken a step back from the sort of wet shaving scene altogether. Andy was a awesome bloke, really nice guy. Had a lot of interaction with him through YouTube and through Messenger as well. And I don't know why. I've cut myself down there. I've got a wee bit down there. I don't even really have much hair down there on that specific spot right there. Just went too low. Got a few weepers today. Do you know something? As much as this razor is super smooth and I love using it and I get really great shaves, the stainless and the brass cause me so many more weepers than the aluminium because it just seems to be too heavy for me to hold on to. Three weepers, 1, 2, 3, is that 4 and 5? It's not too bad really, is it? Nah. So Sunday, is it Sunday? I think it's Sunday, it is Sunday. The storm's just starting now pretty much. I think we've got the aftermath of a tornado or whatever they say. So we'll see what happens. I for one love the wind and rain. As long as it doesn't blow your roof off. Or blow all the oranges out of my orange tree. Then I'm a bit upset. So yeah, I'm expecting these weepers to weep along while I'm cleaning up. I'm going to clean up a little bit while my skin just rests. And we'll pop a little, I might pop the balm on now while I clean the brush out. The bowl, practically cleaned out perfectly. I'm just going to take the handle out and just finish it off. So, for those of you that don't know, the Saponaficio Varicino ball does actually split in two, so the handle just slots out, and it's been made really for storage when you're travelling, or storage when you're putting somewhere where you might not have a lot of space and you just need that little bit less. Just dry it off. There have been issues with this particular bowl with leaking through the seal. I'll just show you now. So this is a wooden bowl. I can't remember what kind of wood it is. This handle here has got a rubber seal that runs around it, like a gasket. And the gasket goes in here through this hole. This is when you're storing it, and it creates a watertight seal. So that's basically how it's the storage section of it. Takes up much less room. And then you pop the handle back out. It slots in this way now. Push it in, like so. There's your handle, done. Dried, cleaned, ready to go for the next one. Which will be a few months away. I don't use it that often. I'm not a big fan of bowl lathering, as you just saw it. For me, it just doesn't make a great lather. It makes the lather too airy. I've never, in all honesty, I don't think I've ever had a great bowl lather. At one stage I went through, probably 3.5 years ago, where I was bowl lathering a lot of soaps. Because I thought I was getting better lathers and I realised I wasn't. So I moved to face lathering, never looked back. I much prefer face lathering in all honesty. I enjoy the whole process of it, the feeling of the brush and the lather building, it's just brilliant. Just give that a good flick out. Oh, there's a fair bit of soap left in there. The good thing with these thick rhodium knots is that they do tend to, you've got to really work at them to get the soap out. Beautiful, there we go. Oh, there's one here, just a tiny little one. So it's obviously half here. Just dry off the handle, and then I'll just do just a few very light touches on the towel. Beautiful, nothing. So 1.5 years for a whole shave for me on a bowl lather, that's brilliant. Oh, it smells great there. I will say that the Castle Forbes line is one of my favourite scents. So I'm going to pop a little bit of this on now. Castle Forbes Lime Essential Oil Aftershave Balm, just a tiny little squirt because I am finishing with APR Reserve Essentials. So that's all I'm going to put on. But this is quite a runny balm, you can see it probably running down, there you go. The scent on it though. Yeah. So that is pretty much absorbed now, it's like there's no residual or anything, that's straight in, boom. I'm going to finish off now with wetting my hands. A little squirt of Australian Private Reserve Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum. Really I've been really impressed with it. I think wetting your hands in one squirt is just perfect. I think it just seems to do a great job. It takes away all that sort of residual, it can leave a bit of a residual stickiness. I think I've got a little ingrown hair there on a spot for a previous shave. So the brush was that down rob handle with a 28mm rhodium knot. Fantastic, really is. Look at the colours in there. Nice limey scent now. The razor, the carved Christopher Bradley razor in stainless steel. This one's a 3.25 inch handle. I've got an 8th use, I think. Just trying to think of his name there. An 8th use was about Super Iridium. Can't believe I can't remember his name. Come on. Fuck. It is. No, I just can't fucking get it. It's terrible. Do you know the worst thing about it? I can hear the music, just, I can see his face, I can hear his voice. I've got all of that. I can, even the way he says things, I've got it there, the way the dripping the water in the brush. It is the, yeah. I've got no fucking idea what the fuck is going on. Do you know something? The more I try to think about it, the worse it becomes. Really, it does. I'm really struggling. Finished off with some. Oh, did I even mention the cream? I don't think I did that. Didn't even do this. So this is my Fancy Pants Shave, Castle Forbes, Scotland. It is a wonderfully scented, reasonably good performing cream. It's nowhere near in the realms of my favourite performing software. I would say, for like Swedish Witch and Ariana and Evans Grooming Department, you know, Mitchell's Wool Fat, all these sort of things, that even the Shaver Heaven I've just used. It's got to a point now where I'll be honest with you, people are asking me now, oh, how do you rate this with this, and how do you... there are no bad artisans now, there are no real bad mass-produced stuff, in all honesty. I mean, Mitchell's Wolf, Act to Back, even Castle Forbes, all this stuff, it works pretty well. You know, it's not like it's crap. This stuff isn't crap, it's just not as good for me as other things, but I think you'll be happy with pretty much anything you buy these days, and I generally tend to buy things based on scent, and this is one of my favourite scents, lime. I love lime. So a really fancy pants shave, made in Scotland. I can't really go wrong with that. I mean, if it's not made in Scotland, it's crap in it, really. As Kevy Shaves would agree with me, I'm sure he would. And finished off today with Australian Private Reserve Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum, which just seems to go on and on and on and on and on for your $50 over here in Australia. I think it's an excellent product. I've used it every single day since I got it, and I think there's still quite a lot left in that little bottle, 30ml. It does go a long way if you use it like I do. And with that, I've had a great shave. I've got a few little weepers down here and a little bit of redness, but that doesn't bother me. That Reserve Essentials will get rid of that pretty quickly. With that, I'm going to tag Spencer Franco and Brown Man Shaves. I've tagged both of you on Instagram as well. I'm sure you both got it. So that is for you fancy pants shave. Shave with your most luxurious items, or whether it be most expensive items, I don't know. But however, they're pretty much all expensive thing that I've got today. So it's not really fancy pants, is it? I'd much take a Swedish witch over that. I'm starting to ramble now. I'm just wasting time. Catch you guys next time. Cheers.